Welcome back from Taste and Texture. I guess you're celebrating already. That bean cake, some call it, but something that makes me want to finish Global Morning quickly and run have the taste of that delicious menu, strictly African menu there. All right, like I told you, we'll be looking at the big papers and the big stories are making the rounds. My guest on today's edition is one of Nigeria's finest veterans, and he's still in the game of news gathering, editing, and everything in between. He's not a person, but Sunday Ayemi is in the studio. Good morning. Nice to have you join us on Global Morning.
Thank you so much.
All right, let's begin the review of the big stories making the rounds. We have looking at the Punch newspaper is up next for review in terms of big stories there. We've got a very loud headline there. It's kind of a little bit worrisome. It says NLC warns federal government of mass protest again, bank cuts withdrawals. That's as regards cash crunch. That's a very big, loud headline there. Let's look at that headline. NLC, remember the last time there was a protest, they shut down activities, it affected the power sector, and also the aviation sector was affected. Should the federal government allow this happen again?
Well, I think for now, this situation has lingered for so long because remember the last truce NLC had with
the federal government.
The federal government was conditional truce.
Yes, conditional.
Where, yes, it was conditional, where they said that if their demands are not fully met, they will return back to the streets. We hope it doesn't happen anyway, because Nigerians are even already suffering for it. Now that we are talking about the cash crunch now, and here we are in the Utah season.
Yes.
Nobody has any money. If you go to the banks now, you want to, even just 10,000 naira, they will plead with you, please, we don't have. We want to ration it so that it will go round to people in the banking hall. So you are being forced to go home with 5,000 naira. So what can 5,000 naira do now? If you are driving, it's about 6 liters or thereabout. And 6 liters of petrol in a car cannot take you to anywhere. So we just find ourselves in a very confused situation. Nobody in government has come out to say, this is where we are and this is where we are headed. It's very unfortunate.
Do you think Nigeria is, there should be a state of emergency in terms of the economic situation in Nigeria, cash crunch? Does it mean we're
how would that one even impact the man on the street? If so many state of emergencies have been declared in several sectors, several situations, and it has not impacted anything. You are only giving these people the opportunity to give excuse. And Nigerians are not looking for excuses now. They want action. Tinubu is just 7 months or thereabout on the seat. And anything that is supposed to be good at the end of the day starts germinating properly. You see when you see the plant coming up, you know that it's going to yield fruit. But well, Tinubu has come up to the stage that it's impossible to decide whether it's going to yield fruits for Nigerians or not.
Very sad commentary there. All right, let's quickly look at the next big story there from the Punch. Rivers PDP clerk fought Tinubu's peace deal. APC slams opposition. Let's look at the truce, the peace accord that was signed. Wike, Fubara, Nuhu Ribadu, and others. Some people have said it was very sad that the president was there to allow this peace deal to occur instead of calling Wike to order, because it's like he's, okaying the issue of godfatherism in Nigerian politics.
On this Rivers issue, every day new twists emerge. There were about 8 points on the agenda.
8 points deal, yes.
That they were forced to sign. Let me say so. They were forced to sign. Or Fubara was forced to sign. Out of those 8 points, only one favored him.
Which is?
Which is the House should not impeach him.
Okay.
But all the rest,
We're in favor of Wike.
Wike and
NCC.
APC. Tinubu mediating into that matter, I think for me, it was supposed
But one of the points was for some of the 27 to be reinstated back. But
it's not to their favor.
But to the PDP.
It's
or are they remaining in APC?
They are going to remain in APC and reinstated back into the House of Assembly. And meanwhile, the parties, two parties now, APC is saying that we don't recognize them yet because they have matters in court.
Okay.
PDP is saying that their seat should be declared vacant and the election conducted. So
but the court says
where do they belong now? So what from there, and you see, they are asking this man, the governor,
Fubara,
to resubmit the budget
yes.
that he had already sent to the four-man House of Assembly members, and it is approved. When these people are reabsorbed back to the Assembly, it should now resubmit the budget. It should now also absorb and allow those commissioners that resigned. So you see that it was a win-win situation for APC, Wike and APC. The only gain there from that meeting was that they said they should not impeach him.
So what does it make Fubara now, at the way it stands now? Does it make him just a sitting duck?
Fubara is on a lonely road. It's on the lonely, like somebody who is looking for a vehicle to travel to somewhere and there are no vehicles coming, you just stay on the road there lonely. You don't even know whether to start trekking, run, or crawl. So Fubara is just there, and unless God's intervention.
All right, we're still looking at the Punch newspaper, the big headlines there, and let's go forward and look at other big stories making the rounds. It says domestic borrowing jumps by 134%, rises to 52 trillion. Don't depend on Villa for feedback, Fayemi advises Tinubu. And then we've got protect your database from hackers, IG advises banks, Sanwo-Olu opens a red line rail flyover. And a driver charged with manslaughter after crash in Lagos. Makinde fumes over suit against soon threatens litigation. All right, that's some of the headlines there from the Punch newspaper. Let's quickly move on to the Vanguard. Vanguard is up next. We've got still no price too big for peace in Rivers, says Fubara. And we've got banditry, gunmen abduct Taraba chief, 2 police officers and 13 others. Supreme Court verdict is a kicker for the Vanguard. We've got I am not broken, I will be victorious. Nnamdi Kanu speaks. And we've got Naira scarcity unacceptable, says Labour. Kaduna bombing is the rider. Anyone found culpable will be punished, says Chief of Defense Staff. Or let's look at no price too big for peace in Rivers, says Fubara. It goes against what he just said. Probably he's okay with the fact that he's not been impeached and every other thing goes for him.
Fubara is just trying to demonstrate that he is a leader.
Okay.
You understand? Fubara cannot, as a governor of Rivers State, if he says anything now to the contrary of what was agreed, it will be taken to the letter by the boys in the state. So he's just trying to calm down some nerves. Let there be peace. It's not that as if he meant it.
Okay.
You understand?
So there's still something underneath.
That is it, because that peace deal did not favor him.
Okay. All right, Labour is saying Naira scarcity is unacceptable. Does Labour have the final say? Or shouldn't the CBN governor come out to tell us what's happening, or the presidency?
No, Labour can just push CBN into it.
Okay.
It's not as if they are not a monetary institution. It's just a Labour movement. So they can, but whatever is being done financially affects every worker in this country. So they can just come in the protection of the average Nigerian worker, that, look, this thing that is happening now, we don't even like it. So can you do something to remedy the situation? That's it.
All right, the issue of anyone found culpable will be punished. CDS talks about the Kaduna bombing. Do you think this Kaduna bombing has become politicized so much and probably would put pressure on the Nigerian military to find a scapegoat, even if there isn't?
Well, it's only in Nigeria that, when something like this happens,
okay,
you set up panels when you know
who is culpable already.
Who is culpable already. But you have to set up a panel, and that panel must come up with a white paper. That white paper will go to another table for approval or not approved. Now, what the chief of defense staff is saying now, it's not as if he doesn't know or he has not been briefed on exactly what happened and who did it. But he's just trying to say, okay, that also to calm down nerves, that we are going to punish it because the people there are aggrieved.
But we've seen 16 of these events play out before this particular episode where even more people had died. Why is this any different?
Even when the army has come out to apologize, they did apologize. And you see, some persons have already pumped in money, including the National Assembly, both houses, Senate and House of Reps,
yes.
And individuals. And federal government have promised that they are going to rebuild that place, give them the facilities that never existed in that community before. I think this should be able to, you can't bring back lives, for goodness sake. And even if, like the CDF said, even if you punish these people or these persons that took part in that bombing, the lives of those that have already died will not come up. So let us see how we can just forget about this thing and maintain the peace.
Okay, quickly, in terms of, we've got Kanu speaking, saying he will be victorious. Do you think the verdict of the Supreme Court to continuous remand of Nnamdi Kanu is justified?
Well, from the point of law, they feel it is justified. I am not a lawyer.
Okay.
They feel it is justified because putting him out of prison now, you don't know what manner of situation the Southeast will be. And if after you remove, you give bail to him, and maybe at a point in time you now incarcerate him again, that place is going to boil. The Southeast will boil. We don't pray for that. We don't pray for that. So the best option is to keep him where he is now until all the matters concerning him in court are dispensed with. If he's going to jail, he goes to jail. If he's not going to jail, you release him to his family and let his people also see him that our son is back.
Do you see justice for Nnamdi Kanu in terms of, do you think there's going to be bias?
Yes, I see justice.
Okay.
I see justice.
All right, the leadership has a very interesting headline there. It says, reps to probe Nigeria's $7 billion annual maritime loss is the big story there. Let's quickly just look at that before we move to the next paper. Reps to probe Nigeria's $7 billion annual maritime loss. It means annually we lose $7 billion. Who do we hold responsible? We know the Nigerian Navy should be guarding the waters. We've got the Inland Waterways Authority. We've got the Blue Economy now as a ministry. Who do we hold responsible for this loss? $7 billion annual loss.
That is very, very unfortunate. Now, because the Navy that is supposed to man Nigeria's seaports has failed in their duties to do so. Do you know that in the Navy today, in the Navy High Command, before you go to the seaports, in fact, you are well known by those in charge of such posting. Otherwise, you would not go. And they go there to cut corners. Any ship that is caught because of bunkering, that the crew refuses to do the needful, they bomb the ship. Why do you bomb the ship with the crude oil in it? Why don't you return it back to where they took it from? Or at best, inform NNPC, this is your product.
Yeah.
Come and take it to whichever facilities you want to put it. You bomb the crew and the ship. So, which is very, very unfortunate. But do you think that aside from that, there is no ship that has left Nigerian shore with full load of crude oil?
They did have an altercation with the company, the Titani company, that
yes,
was, recently, where the Navy accused them, and they also, in return, said they think this is blackmail by the Nigerian Navy. What does that tell us in terms of if there's no synergy between two entities that is supposed to protect?
That tells the story where they say there's a blackmail. That tells the story itself, that because they would have done the needful, and maybe the naval authority or the naval personnel over there thought it was not enough for them. And there could be some bickerings amongst them. You understand? There could be some bickerings among them that would now raise such concerns for them to say that this is blackmail. Otherwise, they don't even have the authority to have said that.
All right, a very sad commentary in case you're just joining us to the session where we look at the paper reviews and looking at all the big stories making the rounds. We've got 10 more minutes to call it a wrap. Let's quickly look at the New Telegraph as we look at the headlines. So, Tinubu actions, directives overrule Constitution. That's what the New Telegraph is telling us as we look at the papers. Tinubu's actions and directives overrule Constitution, shake country's democracy, says Edwin Clark. That's the big talking point there. We've got, we spent 2.4 billion to win Kwara, Imo, Ogun, Guba in 2019, says Oshomole. And we've got another headline still with the Telegraph. It says anti-party activities, we will sanction Wike, others at the appropriate time. That's what PDP says. They are looking at the New Telegraph with those very talking headlines. Other headlines from the New Telegraph says no provision for a population housing census in 2024 budget. No provision for population and housing census in 2024 budget is the headline story there as we look at the New Telegraph, as we look at the papers. All right, let's quickly look at these stories that are coming out from the New Telegraph. It says anti-party activities, we will sanction Wike, others at the appropriate time. That's PDP speaking. Is this coming too late?
Too late.
And is PDP a dead party already?
Too late. When Wike was doing all what he did, PDP was watching him. He first told them during the election that PDP will not win Rivers State. As a PDP member, he was working for
the APC.
The APC.
And with this defection, does that prove it?
Of course, the defection is a prelude to what is going to happen in the next couple of weeks. Just mark it, including Wike himself. If you ask Wike now, do you know that if you go to Wike's office, it's already Nigerian flag that is there. There is no APC flag, no PDP flag, besides his chair. Does that not tell you that
for nobody,
something,
for now.
that is it? So now this one, PDP is just screaming. They can't do anything because this man, his body and soul has already left them. So you cannot flog a dead horse.
Is PDP a dead party?
I won't say PDP is a dead party. They have their strongholds. You understand? There are some states.
Are they dying?
There are some states, including rivers, that are traditional or
PDP
used to be
states.
traditional strongholds of PDP, including Cross River State.
The Bayelsa.
But they are now being weakened by the APC. But there are some states, anyway, that still believe that it's PDP, it's PDP, and it's PDP.
Okay, my final question will be Tinubu's actions and directives of our constitution and shake country's democracy. Edwin Clark, who is one of the founding fathers of Niger Delta, is speaking. Should we take him very serious when he says Tinubu has, technically overruled the Constitution of Nigeria, which is above every citizen.
Yes, and I want to believe with that submission by Chief Edwin Clark, because I watched his press conference yesterday here in Abuja, where he lampooned the president's decision. It's just like the president being a judge in his own case.
Yes.
And they also threatened that they will go to court. There is only the court that can decide the fate of those 27 or 25 PDP lawmakers. That without the Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu cannot just sit down, call some people, majority of them his own favorite, and you decide on a matter that's supposed to be a national issue, or even if you reduce it to a state issue, let it be to the favor of all the members concerned in that.
How would you describe the fact that Nuhu Ribadu was involved in that signing of that? What did he make of?
Well, Nuhu Ribadu, take it or leave it, is playing a neutral role as the NSA. He's supposed to be there.
Okay.
The security architecture of this country rests on his table. So whatever is happening anywhere in the country, he should be concerned about it.
Was that what made Fubara made him sign up? The fact that there's technical pressures on him.
Fubara, forget the fact that he's one of the youngest governors we have in the country today. He's an adult.
Okay.
He can take decision for himself. You understand? He's the governor. He was elected the same way Tinubu was elected. So Fubara can even say, young man, sorry, sir, I'm sorry, this arrangement here that you have put into this communique is not to my favor. I will not sign, and nobody will force him.
Okay. All right, that's how much time is going to allow us to take. We want to say a big thank you for joining us and helping us give us very sound analysis of all the big stories making the rounds and just dailies. Hopefully, somewhere along the line, we'll be looking at other papers in the course of the program, and hopefully John Oba, who is also a journalist, who will be coming into the studios to help us look at those stories. All right, we'll go for a very quick break. When we return from the break, we'll be delving into state IGR, one of the big stories of the week. And we've got a very sound economist who is the head of Nigeria's Unlimited, a renowned company in the person of Issa Ali Shatta, who will be joining me next to help us look at how states can better improve their IGR. Already we know that Lagos State is leading the pack with as much as 650 billion IGR for the year 2022, and that has made them outstanding. We've got 7 states making the rounds after Lagos. We've got Ogun, and we've got Rivers, we've got Kaduna, we've got Edo, we've got Oyo State, some of the viable states in Nigeria, while the rest pack doing the chasing. All right, after this break, we'll be down with the IGRs of state and how best they can improve it. So stay with us. Global Morning just started again.